BBC World Service, among other things. But she was a 12-year-old schoolgirl in Lusaka when they had a very exciting visitor. Maureen, I hope I can speak to you now.
Yes, you can. Good morning.
Good morning. It's lovely to have you with us. Thank you for joining us. Tell us, who was the visitor?
Well, the visitor was no other than Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II herself. And she was with the royal party, which included the Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Andrew, and others, as well as Prime Minister then, Margaret Thatcher, and a number of government officials. And they visited our school because my speech was selected amongst all schools in Zambia. And so I had to read it to her. It was essentially to mark the United Nations International Year of the Child, but that was also during the Commonwealth Summit, which was held in Lusaka. So I was very delighted to have that opportunity. I don't think at that time I'd realized how important it was. I knew the Queen was very important, but I just didn't understand the magnitude of the task ahead. And so I got to present the speech to her.
Not just a speech, of course, Maureen, but you got to talk to her too, or she came to talk to you. Do you remember what she said?
Oh, yes. It was a life-changing moment for me because after I finished reading the speech, I'd already been told about the etiquette and all, that I do not speak unless I'm spoken to, and I do not touch the Queen. So she extended her hand to greet me, and she took my speech and she said, "Very well done. What would you like to be when you're older?" And I said, "I'd like to be a TV star." That was always what I always had in my little mind, a TV star, essentially a broadcaster. And she said to me, "So you shall be." And went on to greet my parents who were standing behind me and others. And so that was really profound. But then what was very significant was that I met her 20 years later. And by that time, I was working for television in South Africa, and it was a time of the Commonwealth Summit. And it was being held in Durban. And a number of us, a few colleagues of mine and I, were luckily invited to be part of the banquet that was to take place that evening, to be hosted by Her Majesty. And I was falling to bits, thinking, my goodness, what if I meet her again? You know, it would just be nice to be in the same room with her. And I was narrating to my workmates how I'd met her 20 years earlier and so on. Unbeknown to me, someone picked up that conversation. And I think they must have briefed her because I was sort of standing wearing traditional Zambian attire. And so it was easy to identify me. So when she walked into the holding room where we were all standing, because she was to meet and greet